All right, I'm back here with Jess from FranFund. Thanks for being on, Jess. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Lisa. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Today we are going to talk about net worth and liquidity. So, like the big, I think, heading on this video is probably going to be, do I qualify for funding? Am I qualified to have this conversation? Give us some tidbits and pointers just kind of around that if someone asks you that question.
As we talked about in our last visit, there's different ways to finance a new business opportunity. And so your ability to qualify will be dependent on financing strategy you're pursuing. And there's, again, different ways to do that. But when you're looking at, that initial question of, do I qualify? Do you have some amount of liquidity on hand? Do you own your home and have equity that you may be able to tap into? Do you have a retirement account that's no longer with your job? Or perhaps you're planning to leave your job and pursue this new opportunity. And so perhaps that 401k could be something that you leverage. Or maybe you've got other investments, stock portfolio, what have you. If you're pursuing a small business loan, this is one of the options that does have specific requirements. And lenders will want to see favorable credit, usually a minimum credit score of about 680. And from a liquid perspective, they're not necessarily concerned with your net worth because, you could have an individual with $1 million net worth, but all of their cash, all of their assets are tied up in that real estate. So liquidity really becomes important when you're pursuing business financing, especially with regards to SBA lending. Generally having to come out of pocket a certain amount, maybe between 15 and 30%, depending on the opportunity and the strength of your financial picture. And then also having to maintain some amount of personal cash reserve. You're going to plan appropriately, develop projections for your first few years on how you anticipate the business to perform. But when the rubber hits the road, things may not move forward as you anticipate, or maybe not as quickly as you anticipate. And so having some personal reserve, whether you're using a small business loan or otherwise, I think is important to ensure that you're able to support yourself as things are ramping up. And should the business require it, you've got a little bit of bandwidth to step in and support some of those costs, keep things moving forward until you get to that great point of profitability and the business supporting itself.
Absolutely. So I think, what the takeaway from there is probably, do you qualify? Let's find out, right? Let's find out that you can have a conversation with Jess, walk her through your portfolio, help her understand where you're at, and she can probably give you a thumbs up, thumbs down, at least if it's worth pursuing. I mean, I think that that's where you really have to just look at it and say, talk to someone that understands all of your options, because a lot of people don't understand. Hey, that old 401k with 50 grand in it over there, that's money you can use as a down payment to start this business. And you haven't even looked at those funds in 10 years. So.
Absolutely. And I talk to folks all of the time who maybe they're not super liquid. They don't have a huge amount of cash in their personal bank accounts, but they have these other assets that they hadn't even thought that they could tap into. That a home equity line of credit is a great option to pair with a small business loan to increase your liquidity. Rollover for Business Startup program using your eligible retirement funds could be an excellent way to increase your liquidity. So absolutely, I'm right there with you, Lisa. Let's find out.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for watching. If you're ready to take the next step, Integrity Franchise Group is here to help. Click the link below or reach out to us today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to solve that franchise puzzle and turn your business dreams into reality. We cannot wait to connect with you.